Hi, this is going to be a little drawing tutorial instruction video on drawing a cylindrical item, sort of a general idea for drawing cylindrical items that have an opening to them or containers of some kind, like a mug of coffee, for example, or a bowl of ice cream. Or a planter. But there's a few fun things to sort of think about, and a lot of it kind of comes down to shading. But there's some really fun ideas, fun things to remember about the whole thing. So here we go. The lip or rim, I guess I should say. First of all, I'm just going to start out with some kind of ellipse. And I'm going to make it kind of thick for a couple of reasons. One is that it seems to be the only way I can make a decent ellipse. And we're going to be using the idea of an outer ellipse and an inner ellipse. And this is just going to sort of help us get a sense of something that's even and is going to sort of work fine. So there's a general ellipse that's going to represent the top. I'm going to clean up. Most of this ellipse is actually going to be, I think, sort of going away. But here is where I'm going to imagine the edge where I can't see around the side of the cylinder anymore, and here's going to be the other edge. It does help. I'm not going to do it necessarily so distinctly in this case, but for anything that's cylindrical, it's so important to have a center axis. So I just sort of sketched one in. It's not even going down the whole thing, but that helps me see if how my ellipse is doing it as well. So the basic idea is that you'll see, I'm assuming a certain direction of lighting. But the basic idea is that for the outer ellipse, I'm going to focus on transitioning from the very top of the outer ellipse to the side of the mug. So let's do that over here too. Fun angle here. That's good enough for now, and just sort of want to make sure I know. And for the front part of the ellipse, excuse me, for the inside ellipse, I'm going to emphasize this part over here. And this is because of the certain lighting, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a sec. So I've got the outside, the outer ellipse is this one, and the inner ellipse here. And just real quickly, one of the things that I like to make sure I remember is that because of perspective, that the back side of the lip or rim will appear to be a little bit thinner than the front part of the mug. And that's a fun big topic, but I'm just going to sort of leave it at that for now. So there we have our two basic ellipses, and what I'm going to start doing, because I know that from my example that the lighting is coming from this direction, that the light on the inside of the mug is going to be pretty much all the way blocked out, right where the light source hits. And as we keep moving away from the light source, it's gonna come back into to hit the opposite side of the inside inner mug. But I'm going to emphasize this part right over here. And make that nice and dark. This is just my 4B pencil, so I'm getting a lot of graphite on here. I know it's going to get shiny and stuff, but that's okay. And then what I'm going to do, I could have done this already, but it's kind of fun to really think of this as an opportunity to draw with your kneaded eraser. I'm just erasing kind of where the lip is, pretty much that original sketched in ellipse that's representing the lip, the top rim here. So there'll be some cleaning up, fun to do, but you get the idea, I hope. And depending on how rounded the lip is, or how flat it is, or thick or thin. There'll be, you know, some decent variation, or depending on where the light is hitting. It will appear a little bit differently. Let's see if I can do this a little bit cleaner this time. So that's the idea for the inner ellipse. And the outer ellipse is fun because really the emphasis is going to be on shading in the opposite direction. It's one of these examples that I really love that has values inverted. I'm just going to sort of lay in some tone here, blend it quickly, no nonsense. But the important part for this part of the shading is as we come around here. I'm going to make sure that this is nice and crisp. And right in here is nice and dark, because none of this light is able to hit over here. And it's fun to emphasize, like I was saying, this inverted shading situation, where one element, visual element, is going from really, really dark to really, really light. And another visual element, excuse me, is doing the exact opposite. Happens a lot, and there's all sorts of fun things you can do. It's kind of just that simple concept. But quick, no nonsense idea for how to treat the lip. And what's cool, well, among the many things that are cool, is how for this front ellipse, as it starts coming over and there's getting hit by more light, and depending on the color of the mug, you can really sort of not have anything drawn, really kind of any indication of the front of the outer ellipse as you get over here to where the light source is. And the eye will kind of just naturally fill that in. And the same is true. I'm going to touch it up a little bit. On the other side, I have this line a little too focused. But that is the main idea for a rim of a cylindrical item. Once again, there'll be different specifics, and you'll need to observe closely what the lighting situation is. But I really try to remember this notion of an outer ellipse and an inner ellipse, and the outer one in front here, well, just the distance between the inner and the outer is a little bit further as we get in front here. So play with that. Go look, grab a mug, put some light on it, and have fun.